Hey everyone, this is Kenlyn and the transmission for the full moon in Scorpio happening on April 23rd, US time. This is a huge time. So this full moon is working with the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction happening a few days before. Now, I forgot to mention something in my Uranus-Jupiter video that I want to mention here, and that is that Bitcoin is halving on April 19th, which means that the supply of Bitcoin will go down, and usually that drives the price up, which will drive the demand and really the popularity of Bitcoin. They say that this kind of event at this moment in time will really set the course of cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is ruled by this Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius loves to destroy the old banking system and come in with a new innovation around banking and decentralized innovation around banking. Uranus is, like I've said before, rules Aquarius. So cryptocurrency has been making its name on the scene, but we're going to see that it gets much and much bigger as institutions adopt cryptocurrency, and quite possibly we'll have a decentralized banking system, a decentralized blockchain banking system, or currency systems, like multiple currencies. So it's fascinating what's happening, and we are right there on the precipice. So whether you like it or don't like it, it really doesn't matter. It's happening. And it's happening right at the time of this conjunction, which is all about a spark of the new, a spark of the new. The new world is being like ignited right here. And I love that because, as I said in the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction video, that it ties in with what happened in 2020. I won't go into that here, but it ties in with that restriction. That was the beginning of the wrecking ball, right? And now we're on the other side of the wrecking ball, looking out of the horizon to a new world. And so Taurus rules money. So of course, Uranus, Jupiter, Bitcoin halving when it's in Taurus. I just love synchronicities like that. And you can watch Pan Gregory's video on the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction. We'll take you through history about what things in history happened during that conjunction. The last one in Taurus was 1941. The last time we had a Uranus-Jupiter conjunction 13, 14 years ago was in 2010, and that was in Aries. So that's just a little recap. That pulls us forward to the full moon in Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is the planet of death and rebirth, and so that fits with a full moon because a full moon is about completion, endings, and spotlighting. So Scorpio rules secrets, and the full moon is spotlighting secrets. And it could be secrets around finances, because again, we're in the axes of Taurus and Scorpio, right? Because the sun is in Taurus and the moon is opposite. So we have a full moon because the sun is lighting up the moon, and we have a full moon. And so like secrets, Scorpio, that need to come to light at this time are the light from the sun is shining on them. And so this axis point around money will trigger in you some kind of internal conversation or external about how you're making money. Why? What are you doing with your investments? What are you doing with your money? How is it a reflection of your self-worth? What are you complete with? What is coming into your field that you didn't know about yourself, maybe about the way you spend money, about the way you save money, or maybe that you want to become an investor. That could be something that's just dawning on you, that it's time to become an investor. It's time to do things differently. And I think that's going to play with the overall themes from Aries of stepping into our leadership, stepping into our boldness. And then we ask the questions on a granular level, does it does that boldness from me, that leadership from me, is that allowed in the other areas of my life? Is it allowed in my partnerships? Does my home reflect me? Does my physical body reflect me? You know, that's first house. Does my money and the way that I earn it reflect my self-worth, my up-leveled, elevated sense of self-worth, the willingness to step into my unique template? That's what Aries is asking. And so we can look at each one of the houses and see in this how money is affecting each one of the houses, because it certainly dictates the kind of house you have or the level of care you've had with your physical body or your health or your opportunities. And maybe, you know, the sun is just going to shine a light on something that wants an upgrade. It wants an up level, because think about it. We're in the time of the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction. So it's no accident that it follows that sequence. So it's really highlighting even further, what do you need to rethink? And we've had Mercury in retrograde, and on that same day, it starts to station direct. And then Mercury will make some points with Chiron. So we have a lot going on, of which the full moon is one piece of this puzzle. And it's highlighting the Taurus and Scorpio axes around our money. So Taurus, as Pam Gregory pointed out, Taurus loves simplicity. And I really love that. I mean, just imagine in your mind's eye the image of a bull just eating grass in a field. It's connected to nature, feet on the ground, feeling the sunshine, just eating the bounty of Mother Earth. I love that. And Scorpio, on the other hand, likes complexity. And you think about the scorpionic ways of the underworld, of the hidden things, the complex emotions that we have. And maybe there's a deep complexity around our lineage with respect to money. Like we're carrying, we want to make it simple, but we're carrying the complexity of our lineage around money. If you think about that, it could be, you know, that your parents or your grandparents were immigrants and they came to another country with a story, or maybe they were survivors of war. I mean, certainly the last Uranus-Jupiter conjunction in Taurus was 1941. There was a war happening. So that allowed some people's economy to boom, and other people were in scarcity. So whatever it was that your lineage experienced, you may be carrying that. And it's time under this Scorpio full moon to really see that. So I would advise during this time to do some abundance practices. And part of the abundance practice isn't like calling in new things or overriding your experience with an affirmation. Instead, we're going to go the Scorpio route. It's like going down, down, down. And when you go the Scorpio route, you got to dig in. And so ask the questions like, what is my relationship with money? If money were to talk to me, what would it say? Does money think I'm responsible? Does money like me? Do I like money? Who has the pattern that I have with money? Who has it? Is it my mom or my dad or my grandparents? Who has this same pattern with money? And then we could also look at in some practical ways, like, am I setting myself up for my future? You know, the future is uncertain in terms of like what's going to be on the menu. How are we going to live our lives? What kind of technology is going to be available? How's the currency going to go? What kind of healthcare do we have? Where do we get our food? You know, how's the climate going to be where we live? Like, we know there's so much uncertainty. but there are stuff inside your control. And that's what this axis is going to ask you. What is inside your control? And so what are you doing? If you feel like you need more financial security, then you get to put your time and attention there. How would I create that? How would I invest? What things would I invest into? And that would be something in that axis of Taurus and Scorpio. So as I said, digital currencies are ruled by Uranus. So it's going to be, a digital currency world. So how educated are you in the world of digital currency? Oh my gosh, there's also something else happening in this full moon, and that is a T-square. And that T-square is happening with Pluto. So the sun, the moon, and Pluto are all squaring off with each other. And that square, I have a square in my natal chart. I'm sorry, it's a T-square. I have a T-square in my natal chart, not with Pluto, but with Uranus. So I know the energy of this T-square, and it is a choice point. From my experience, what it requires is to source your grit. Source your grit. It just doesn't care about your blah, blah, blah excuses. It doesn't. It's really made me who I am, because I really could easily have gone into victim energy. When I was younger, my parents used to say, my mantra was, that's not fair. That's not fair. Well, guess what? It's like that kind of mentality. It's not fair is putting me in a victim position with respect to life. And that doesn't serve me. That doesn't give me any power. So I had all kinds of deconditioning to do around my power. Pluto is power. So Pluto squaring the sun and the moon in Taurus and in Scorpio is squaring the axes of money. So where are you disempowered around money? That's huge. I should have started off with that, right? So you have a choice point. You're going to have some kind of choice point. And are you going to choose your disempowerment, or are you going to choose power? I was talking to someone the other day who's in a divorce conversation, and this person had typically given away her power to her partner who was a CFO for a company. So, it kind of is like, oh, you're the money guy. You can handle all of our money. Oh, until we get a divorce, and now the money guy is telling me you're going to get like this much. And you've got to stand up for yourself. You got to learn the law, and you got to negotiate, which are skills that this person hasn't had to have. So part of this North Node in Aries is like, nope, to be a sovereign person, independent, you need to stand for yourself. And so therefore life is going to give you an opportunity to stand up for yourself in the area of this full moon and this sun in Taurus called finances. So that's just one way that it's showing up. And I know of a bunch of other couples who are talking about divorce, but it's been money that has kept them together, kept them living together. So they're going to have to get creative, because really, and this is what I said to these couples, it's like, let's first just speak the truth. Don't go into problem solving. Don't cut yourself off at the knees. First, speak the truth. That's what the Scorpio full moon's going to want. And then once you've spoken the truth, like it settles in, just like honey, moving into all the crevices. And new ideas, Uranian, new ideas from nowhere will come in. But if we don't acknowledge the truth, Scorpio, we will not have the new ideas, because we're just like, la, 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 it's not there. Or the old belief is like, oh, I have to be in this situation. I have to, because I don't have the money to get out. Well, if you do that, you are oppressing yourself and you're oppressing the other person and the situation. So let's give life, open up, give air to speak the truth, and then let the honey, I like that metaphor, let it move into the crevices because it will know what to do. And it's Uranian. We don't know what it's going to do. It could do like anything. It could completely reroute something. A new job offer could come. Someone dies and you get money in the will. I mean, like, I could sit here all day and come up with scenarios. And the truth is that that's life. Something always works out, but you have to speak the truth first. And that's what the full moon in Scorpio is going to ask you to do, particularly around your money. And that money, as we just saw in those contexts, are related to relationship, which is related to the axes of the North Node and the South Node in Libra. So the way we've compromised South Node in Libra, North Node, Aries, where we're going, individuality, I am, what's true for me, bold statement. And that's like the axis point that evolution is working on. So we might say, oh, that's so damn selfish. No, actually, it's not, because to build the society, it can play out that way in people because they don't have enough shadow work done. But the concept itself is not selfish, because to have a world where everyone wins, we must know what our truth is. We must know. And if we don't know what our truth is, then we are battered about. And that's how our bodies become ill. That's how we live in resentment. That's how we passive aggressively stab other people, because we're not clean. We haven't come clean. So full moons are come clean times, because the sun is shining its light on the unconscious, on the complexity, and saying, okay, let's just break this down and make it really freaking simple. What's your truth? So I hope I supported you in whatever choice point moment is happening for you in this full moon. That's incredibly important, with this T-square to Pluto coming after the Uranus Jupiter conjunction. I mean, Mercury turning direct, and then Pluto shortly in May starts to station retrograde. So here it is, folks. April, I'm getting chills saying this. This is the moment that sets you, me, the planet, our culture on a new path. Okay, so let us just surround ourselves with gold light. And we have the healing protection of Chiron in Aries, who really wants us to get it. So there were so many touch points, including Mercury's touch point into Chiron, coming from way, way out into space here. So bringing the new here through the healing energy. So let's just presence that as we envelop all of us, the whole planet, you, me, everyone we know, everyone we don't know, in liquid gold light. And may all beings benefit from the merits of our efforts. Namaste.